Ah, how refreshing. A blank sheet, unsoiled by the ravages of ignorance. Oh, hello.
Hello, sir. I'm here about those shelves.
Right, through here.
Is it here you want the shelves, sir?
Right, yeah, that's it, just in that alcove. I'm running out of space for my books, you see.
Right, bookshelves then. Right, I'll just measure up. Won't disturb you for too long.
Oh, don't worry, I welcome the disruption, believe me. Exam scripts, you see, marking, one of the most tedious jobs in Western Christendom.
Oh, I see, sir.
I work for the university, you see. These are school scripts, you see.
Right.
I do it for extra money.
Well, we could all do with a bit of extra, sir.
Too true.
I better get on if that's okay.
Of course, my apologies. Could I get you some tea?
No, thank you, sir.
A beer then?
No, thank you.
Do you work as a carpenter full time then?
When I'm allowed to, sir, yes.
Ah, right. Yeah, I see. Oh, sorry. Please do carry on. So, were you always a carpenter?
Not always, no, sir. If you must know, I did try my hand at the motor trade a few years back.
I see, that's very interesting. Plenty of demand there. More's the pity. Still inevitable, I guess. The march of time and all that. But I can't see anything in cars myself. Can't understand why some people would see in them something of beauty. Just a machine. You speak in the past tense though. You don't work at the factory anymore.
No, sir, a bit noisy, I've found it. Far too many interruptions. Could never get my work done.
Ah.
Damn it.
Oh, allow me. Bad leg?
Yes, sir, souvenir of France.
Ah, I see. You were out there then? Me too. Well, for a bit, at least. On the Somme.
Really, sir? Well, I was there for a bit towards the end of November of 16, towards the end of the Somme.
Ah, just after me. I was there at the beginning.
The opening day?
No, I was in reserve. Went up to the line, just after that. But a friend of mine, well, he was there. Didn't make it, I'm afraid. But you got through.
Well, yes, luckily, but we ended up at Wipers the year after.
Oh dear. Thankfully, I missed that show.
Oh, you're well out of it, sir. I've never seen things like that in my life. Mud everywhere, great big shell holes with water 15 feet deep. Mostly full of bodies, dead ones.
Yes. It was like that on the Somme once the rain came.
Still, in a way, I do kind of occasionally miss it all. My pals, the company, that sort of thing. Especially my friends who never made it back.
Alas, the bright cup. Alas, the mailed warrior. Alas, the glory of the prince. How that time passed. Grew dark under the cover of night. As if it never was. Sorry, a bit of poetry.
Oh, you're a poet then, sir?
No, not really. At least, that wasn't mine. It was written many years ago. Just came into my head when you said about missing people. I call it Leaf-mould.
It's a poem called Leaf-mould.
Sorry, I mean, it's like leaf-mould. Things just bubble to the surface when you least expect them. Things you read a long time ago, just out of nowhere they pop up. And you always wonder why. What was it that sparked life into them?
Right you are, sir. Well, anyway, I was in France. And I learnt about joinery. I was a miner before the war, so I volunteered to dig out tunnels, you see. We ended up making pit shafts, stuff for the dugouts, that sort of thing.
Really? Mining, yes. Yeah. That fits, you see. I didn't think you were from around here. No, don't tell me. I'm good with accents. Cornwall. Quite west. Is it just area?
Very impressive, sir. I used to work at Gaveen. Do you know that area then?
Well, from the Midlands myself. But I've been on holiday in Cornwall a few times near the coast. I enjoy the sea, the Atlantic, the size of it. Sometimes I'll sit for hours looking over it, at the water to the west, wondering what might be out there.
It's America, I think, sir.
Yes, quite. But you see, our ancient forefathers used to think there was a mystical land out to the west, one that only a few people could find, like St. Brendan, a wondrous place of shimmering light, music, mystical creatures.
Doesn't sound much like America to me. Not that I've ever been.
No. This was not of this world. An undying land, possibly the Elven kingdoms, possibly Atlantis, possibly even... No, never mind. Tunneler, you say. Can't say I ever envied any of you chaps. A tough job.
Oh, yes, it was, sir. Never knew what you were going to tunnel into, to be honest. Fritz was always digging around, and if he thought you were around, then you were likely to get blown up as the people on the front line. Like rabbits we were. Rabbits in a hole. And at Wipers, when the rain and the mud got too much, we all dug down and started living underground for much of the end of 1917. More or less like a complete town of people, all living in holes underground.
How odd. Rabbits in a hole. Quite like that.
Can't say I did. Anyway, I caught my blighty just before the end. I was sent here to hospital in the exam schools where I met my wife. She was a nurse, you see. Been in Oxford ever since, really. What about you, sir?
Oh, me? I was sent back at the end of 16 with fever. Never went back, thank God.
Yes, I know what you mean. Sometimes tough. I don't think I ever left it all, really. You know, truly got away. Or at least, I feel like I left part of me behind. That's why I could never stand the motorworks, really. Cooped up inside all those loud noises, those damn machines everywhere. Of course, it's all back.
Yes, I can see that.
Still, you've got to come to terms with it in our own way.
Yes, that's true. For me, it's writing. I try to lose myself in that.
Oh, so you write books then, sir?
No, not at all. Don't think I'd be any good at that, to be honest. I'd never know where to stop. No, I just dabble. I like to create worlds, other worlds, kind of like this one, but not quite, and then write about them. Write about the history, the people who live there, their languages.
Well, fairy stories then?
Well, no. Well, who knows? Not really, I suppose, but then again, perhaps they are. But nothing worthwhile that anyone would want to read.
Well, seems a bit of a waste to me if you don't mind me saying so. Maybe you should write a novel, you know, and try and get some extra money.
Well, I do have a few tales, I suppose, which I set in my worlds, but they don't tie together. I need something to drive them along, a plot, I think a critic would say, so I just tell them to my children. Just my children.
Fair enough. Well, I'm done here, sir. So, I'll pop the estimate through the door on Monday evening, if that's all right with you.
Perfectly. Well,
okay, right, must go. Cheerio, sir. Good luck with the stories or whatever they are.
thank you, and thank you for the distraction. It was most welcome. Stories, eh? Or whatever they are. Once upon a time, no. A long time, no, even worse. In a hole, in the ground, there lived a hobbit. I wonder where that came from.